Welcome to the Stress Less Live More podcast. I'm Baz.
And I'm Loz. And today we are talking about the end of hustle culture and why slow productivity could be your best work.
I've always hated that though.
What, hustle culture?
Hustle.
I know. And today we're going to ask, is hustling really the answer, or is it what's burning us out? And this week we're going to look at something called slow productivity, which is a new thing that is kind of sweeping the business world at the moment.
Is it a new thing? Or is it just what we all should be doing?
Well...
Or what we've always been doing?
Well, no, because everybody thinks that you need to hustle because that's the only message we're ever given as business owners.
Last 5 years, I reckon. 5 to 10 years has been the hustle. But before that, it's been let's do about productivity. Because I know we're going to talk about it a bit later on about productivity. How we manage or measure our success.
Yes. Well, this episode was actually inspired by a filmmaker and YouTuber called Matt Devella. And I watched his video, which we'll put the link in the descriptions. And he shared about hustle culture.
It's well worth a watch.
It's a very, very good video. Hence, it's inspired this. So maybe, Matt, if you watch this, this is all for you. So thank you very much for posting that video. And he openly admits in his video that he almost quit YouTube in 2022, but he'd been struggling since 2019. And he even put video clips up to show, that he was struggling.
I've heard so many people quitting YouTube because of the amount of work they believe they have to do.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a bit later on. So well there, Baz. I've written it down because it's in a certain order, okay? So just pay attention. And he, Matt is saying that since he started to slow down, he's actually created what he calls his most meaningful work. So I'm really excited to dive into this today and kind of unpack this. I feel as business owners, the only education we ever get is hustle, push, grind, all that kind of thing. And I personally don't agree with it. I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous, this hustle, because we are waiting for the end of our productivity or the end of that journey so we can feel happy, we can feel fulfilled. All that journey of hustle is so stressful and we're fighting burnout the whole way through it, waiting for that end result.
We've been in business for 12 years now, and
It feels like you've always said 12 years. When are we going to go to 13?
When it comes to next year.
But it feels like you've been saying 12 years for like the last 10 years.
Anyway, I don't know about you, but I've almost seen Gary Vaynerchuk change his tune and his approach to hustle culture. I've definitely seen it change. Mm-hmm. He used to be quite harsh about hustle and pushing. But I have seen over the past couple of years, he's kind of changed his tone on a few things, hasn't he? So I'm just saying that I've seen that whole thing change.
But we've got to look at the word hustle, though, I think, because we are told that hustle means push harder for longer. I think there is a time for hustling.
Yeah.
There is a time for grinding. There's a time for doing it, but we can't do it all the time, every day, 15, 20 hours a day, all the time.
But let me ask you this. On a typical business owner or founder's Instagram feed, LinkedIn feed, Facebook feed, whatever it is, I bet you that 95% of it is people telling you to get up at 4 a.m, to have the magic hour, to, work harder, to push, to, hustle. I bet you that's what their feed is full of. And what happens? You go, okay, that's what I need to do.
But we interpret that as working longer, more. I think we've got to work smarter. Hustle in short segments.
Yeah.
Like work your ass off, but have the rest time as well.
Well, these are some of the things, and I bet you we're gonna read these one for one. How many of
Thank
these?
you for telling me what I'm going to do.
How many of these have you heard maybe in the past 24 hours? So the first one is sleep when you're dead.
Am I allowed to go over the next one?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah. Rise and grind.
If you're not working 100 hours a week, you don't want it bad enough. Oh my gosh, I have heard that one so many times. Well, if you're not working that hard, you clearly don't want it hard enough. And I'm
Outwork
like,
everybody else.
oh, yes.
Outwork everybody else.
Yeah, you can rest when you've made it.
What does that mean?
What does that even mean? I mean, they're just stupid words.
Rest when you've made it. That reminds me of what I listened to this morning. I listened to an interview with Sly Stallone. And he said, it never gets easier. You never make it. The older you get, the harder it gets. The grind gets harder. So we've got to manage that.
Can I just tell you something? I'm getting more wound up each one of these.
I can sense it. I can sense
it. The next one is, oh, sorry, you're going for the next one.
Yeah. Always be available. Oh, my God. No.
Really?
If you're always available, that means you're not busy enough.
And that means you're lazy, you're weak.
Yeah.
You clearly don't want it enough.
Yeah.
Next one is say yes to every opportunity. No.
No.
Why?
I learned that the hard way in the prison service.
Would you like to jump off a cliff? Yes.
Yeah.
No, people.
The grind never stops.
If you're not growing, you're dying. Actually, you have said that one before.
I like that though.
Go on then.
If you are not progressing, if you're not developing yourself, and that doesn't mean hustle, that just means if you're not growing, you are dying. Because if you look at anything in nature, if it's not growing, it's dying back.
Yeah.
I agree with that one. So we'll give you that one. Sacrifice now, enjoy later.
Oh my gosh, honestly. Really? Like I remember, do you remember Joe Kensett? Used to
Hi, Joe, if you're watching.
Hey, Joe, Success Faults with Neil. He always used to say to me, Loz. Let's get to the end and enjoy it.
Enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey. Don't get to the end and feel absolutely knackered. The next one, I don't even know if I can read this. Oh, no days off. Really?
I love a day off.
I love a day off. We all love a day off.
And the last one on our list is keep hustling till the haters ask you if you're hiring.
Honestly, like...
If you're a hater, I ain't going to employ you.
All of these things, how many of these have you heard in the past 24 hours? They're not useful to us as business owners, especially the younger people amongst us, people who are in their 20s, who are fresh into this, who are impressionable, right? This is the reason I burnt out.
I'm still impressionable. Okay.
This is the reason I burnt out because that's all I heard.
Yeah.
That's all I heard. And I thought I need to do that to be successful.
We need to change this narrative that we are talking about business owners. Why are we getting into business ourselves? Running our own business, being a founder, being a startup, because we have a passion about that thing that we do.
Yeah.
And I believe that having your own business is about enjoying the process of everything in that business.
Yeah.
Not hustling so badly that you turn out and you regret what you started, you hate what you do, and you feel like, why am I doing this? No.
Oh, I'm so glad that we've got that out the way because it was
Do you
painful.
feel better now?
And I was getting quite
angry. Shake it out.
Okay.
Come on, shake it out.
I just need to shake it out.
Release
right.
it off.
So in Matt's video, I want to talk a little bit about this because this is what inspired this. And in his video, he says that hustle culture is louder than ever. And he shows videos of David Goggins, of Alex Hormozy, of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, all these people that are very much about going out, getting it, and this sort of thing. And he says on one end, you've got the side hustle bros who are up at 4 a.m., working till 2 a.m., 100 hours a week, sleep when you're dead. And then he talks about the other end, which is the bare minimum bros who push for doing as little as possible. You turn up, you get your paycheck and go home. But in the middle is slow productivity, which is a balanced alternative that I love. And we'll talk a little bit more about this. Matt said that he was grinding 50 hours a week. Now, some of our clients, before they join us, they admit that they've been working 80 hours a week. 80 hours a week. But Matt said he cut his hours down to 25. He was more intentional and he hasn't lost any momentum at all whatsoever. And he says that he's producing his best work because of this.
I love that, though. That we talk about that all the time in Energized Leadership. What is the intention behind what you're doing? Have that intention. We always talk about intention. And that is the key to this. He sets an intention. What's he going to do? And he does his work in that time frame.
We're going to share the 3 things of slow productivity a little bit later based on Cal Newport's book. But I just want to let you know that I've put together a slow productivity worksheet. Ta-da! If you're watching it on YouTube, this is what it looks like. And the link for that will be in the descriptions below. So you can grab your version of that based on what we're talking about today. Anyway, back to what we're talking about. I believe there are 5 drivers that drive us and hook us into the hustle culture. And the first one is that fear of failure. So if I stop, I'm going to fall behind and I'm going to fail. I think that's one of the biggest drivers, because when I don't know about you, Baz, but when I'm scared, when, I'm uncertain in business, my default will be to work harder, push harder. Well, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. But that's coming from that place of scarcity and lack and less and loss and never. And I almost feel that hustle's a little bit like that sometimes. It's coming from that place of lack rather than from a place of trust and intuition and intention, which is such a different kind of energy.
Yeah. Next one down, fear of missing out. I think I would say this is more so than the fear of failure. Missing out on that opportunity that might come out. If I am not constantly in front of my audience, delivering, then I'm going to miss out on an opportunity of a new gig or a new business adventure or a new client. I'm going to miss that one out.
Yeah.
We're always chasing those opportunities. But if you are delivering quality, those opportunities will come to you.
Yeah.
Rather than you trying to chase them. I'm a strong believer that if you are producing good quality products or services that change people's lives, the opportunities will come to you.
The next one up is external validation. If I'm busy, I look important.
Oh, the amount of people I speak to. What are you doing today? Oh, I'm just busy. What are you doing? Housework, I'm busy doing this and I've got to do this. And I'm like, that's just, you're not being productive. You're just saying that you're busy.
I think there's this whole notion that if we're busy, we must be important and we're justifying ourselves in the world. But then that
100%.
goes back to the whole thing of, I'm only worthy by the amount of things that I do.
Yeah.
So this whole thing around having that external validation about being busy looks like I'm important.
Comparison culture. We live in a world of comparisons. The only person I'm going to compare myself to is me. Am I doing better than I did do the other day?
Yeah.
That's all I need to do. But it's so easy to get trapped in. I don't scroll half as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Because you get pulled into that world that you think is real, even though that we know it's not real. And we get pulled into it and we got to compare. I always say, never compare, never compete, never complain. Yeah. 3 C's in my life.
And then you got the identity attachment. So if I'm not working, then who am I? So these are the 5, hustle hooks that get us in. And I can tell you, looking at all of this, I don't like to use the V word, right?
Very?
No.
Validate?
No.
Volkswagen?
No. I was a victim of this hustle culture, and that is why I burnt out. I don't like using the word victim, but absolutely I can see this without a shadow of a doubt. Fear of missing out, fear of failure. So I had to look busy constantly. I was comparing myself to everybody else. I was my business because I believed that I had to outwork everybody else. I would sleep when I was dead, that the grind never stops, all of that stuff. And just listen to the aggressiveness of that.
Why do we think outworking somebody means working more? Why do we think that? Outworking someone can be just, I produce better products. I produce a better service. I produce better information.
Well, do we not know the story of the tortoise and the hare?
No.
We all know that
never,
story of the tortoise and the hare.
heard of it,
Seriously, Barry, don't start. We all know that story. And I believe it, this slow productivity is very much like that. But there's a real cost to this hustle culture. And, obviously we're talking about Matt in this podcast. And he says that, he nearly shut down and, stopped his business in 2022. But if we're talking about YouTube creators, how many do you want me to reel off? I can name at least 4. I won't say them online because it's not fair. I know some of them have...
Good job you said that, because I was just going to reel off.
But some of them have admitted to it, that they have been burnt out. But some of them, we watch their videos regularly and I'm like, you're burning out. I can see it.
Yeah.
Right? And, I know someone like Casey Neistat, for example.
He's been there.
He's definitely said that he was burnt out.
So we're going to say some now.
We'll say something that we're okay to.
They've got some real great content. I always follow Casey Neistat. I follow Craig Ritchie, and I know he's been through his struggles with it.
Yeah, true.
Kinging it. Those guys are smashing it. They produce some phenomenal content. I love watching theirs. And I've noticed they've been a little bit wobbly at the moment.
Even if you look at Ryan Trahan as well. So he did his 50 days.
50 states in 50 days.
Amazing. And Ben and Rach got us onto him. And I'm so glad they did. I'm so
pleased. And we did a joyride run in Vegas.
And we did do a joyride run. But even he said and admitted, guys, I'm knackered, I'm tired. And, this is really hard for us, like producing the content and being on board, with everything all the time. So that's at least 4 people that we know of that have publicly said we've struggled. But I see other ones and I'm like, I can see the signs because you can see it in their video content.
100% you can.
And again, I know I've been victim to this as well. But there are some alternatives, and I wanted to put down a couple of alternatives that were really interesting.
I see Tim Ferriss was the first one. And I remember when we started Rock Solid Up and we read the Tim Ferriss 4-day working week, was it? A 4-hour working week.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can you work 4 hours a week? But it's about being productivity. It's about the productivity, isn't it?
Yeah. Basically the whole thing is that you work 4 hours a day and it's intentional. Because if you think about the work that most of us do, if you was to condense it into 4 hours, you probably find that you'd be able to get 10 hours down into 4 or 5, right? It's just we spend a lot of time faffing.
Yep.
Right, faffing. And so if you're really intentional about what you're doing, then and I tried it and it was quite fun. And I found that I was very intentional, very focused with what it, with what I was doing.
I still see there's a bit of a hustle in that 4-hour week because you are hustling to get everything condensed into that thing, but it's very intentional. Yeah. We set a reminder, we set a notification on our emails, don't we, saying we're not in the office between this hour and this hour, so we're not getting distracted. And you can really knuckle down and get focused on that 1 bit of work or 2 bits of work.
There was a 4-day work week trial in 2002, 2023, over 61 companies, which was 2,900 employees. And staff worked 80% of the hours for 100% of the pay. And there were some interesting results.
I'm seeing these.
71% reported less burnout. We had 39% reported lower stress. Sick days dropped by 65% and staff turnover fell by 57%, and the company revenue stayed stable or grew.
This doesn't make sense to me then. If these stats are true, which I believe they are, why don't everybody do a 4-day working week?
I know. It's interesting, isn't it? Really
you can
interesting.
Spread your team about a little bit. Doesn't make sense. If it works, it works. Do it.
There's a guy called Cal Newport. who is the whole kind of catalyst behind this slow productivity. And Matt actually interviewed him, and there was part of the interview that was on the YouTube video, which again, we've put in the descriptions. And Cal Newport is the Associate Professor of Computer Science at Georgetown University. And he has other books like Deep Work, which I think we've read Deep Work before.
Is that the one where the fish jumps out into the big bowl?
No, I don't think it is.
On the front cover?
No, that's
I remember reading Deep Work.
Yeah, we've definitely read Deep Work. Digital
minimalization.
I can't say that word. A World Without Email and Slow Productivity, which is his most recent one. And he has 3 core principles when it comes to this slow productivity, which is this more slow-based but intentional work. And number 1 is do fewer things. So this is about really cutting back on commitments and going deeper in just a few projects rather than splattering yourself everywhere. This is about doing fewer things. The second one is really interesting, working at a natural pace.
For you, for that individual, yeah?
Yeah, so this means if you think that something's going to take an hour, allocate 2 hours for it.
Yeah.
Right? And work at a pace where you have some breathing room either side. So you're not like stack, back to back. You're able to have that breathing space and let work unfold rather than forcing it, basically. And the third principle is about obsessing over quality. And this is about measuring your success by excellence.
This is what I was saying earlier on. And I know when we watched it, it was about back in the day, productivity was about the amount of produce or products that you produced in that working day.
Yeah.
And today we've got no stats because it's not about productivity now, is it? It's about how much work we can deliver because everything's deliverable.
Yeah.
If I go into a field and I grow potatoes, I've got how many potatoes have I grown in that season?
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's all about data. And it's really hard to quantify how much data it takes to be successful.
Cal speaks about knowledge workers. So knowledge workers are people who are
information-led,
yeah, definitely. And it's in our brain. And we can't really physically look at that productivity and that output like we could do with manual farming, that kind of thing. And potatoes. And there's something called pseudo-productivity. And pseudo-productivity is where you're just visibly busy, but you're not doing anything, right? Whereas
carrying a clipboard around a building site, nobody, I used to do it in the prison service, you carry a clipboard around, nobody would ask you if you're busy, what you doing? What are you doing, Baz? Oh, I've got a clipboard. I'll just keep walking around,
There you go, great clipboard. And then you've got the slow productivity, which is that invisible depth. So it's like that quiet focus. It's fewer visible tasks, but you've got higher quality outcome of everything. And so it really is about looking at how am I working? Am I falling foul to the whole busy, and I'm just busy all the time producing this work and, I never feel like I stop? Or are we slowing down? And I know Matt said that when he slowed down, he was more intentional. He gave himself longer time to do things. He actually got more work done. It was better quality and he felt more connected to it as well.
If you think you get the good quality work done, you give that time over, so you can sit back and go, that was good. I enjoyed doing that. Look at the quality of that work. Let's start the next product. Rather than going straight from there to there, you're not giving time to reflect, looking back on the work that you've done and being proud of that work. It's just about churn. Churn it out. And I know when I'm editing the vlogs for the YouTube, if I take my time with it, I'll look back and I think, I enjoyed watching that myself.
Yeah.
But if I have like 4 or 5 backed up and I feel like I have to just push through and get them out, I don't enjoy them. And I don't think the quality's there. It's just about getting them out for getting them out's sake.
Yeah, definitely.
And what is YouTube about? It's about delivering a video that somebody's going to sit down and enjoy.
Yeah.
and get fulfillment from it.
Well, that creativity has to come from a place of connection,
Yeah.
of, it's a different place. It comes from within you. When you're being creative, you connect inside to you. When you're in hustle, you're not. You're in your head.
You don't care.
No.
I think when you're hustling, all you're caring about is Jerry Maguire. Show me the money.
Exactly. Let's have a look at some reflection questions then. But remember, just before we do that we have that free download for you, which is your slow productivity audit worksheet. And we are literally going to take you through 3 simple ways to protect your energy and to really help you kind of look at, right, am I hustling or am I being, doing slow productivity? So we've got that there for you so you can download that. But the reflection questions are, the first one is, where are you mistaking busyness for progress? Oh, I love this one, because I sometimes see the business is I hate this term, spinning your wheels, but it is almost like you're
stuck in mud.
Yeah.
So the next one is, what commitment could you pause or drop this week?
Yeah, I'm sure there's something that you've just got on your list because you think it's got to be on there.
Loads.
Because you've listened to somebody say you'll sleep when you're dead. Ugh, idiots. That's
a bit harsh. Idiots.
Well,
that's a bit harsh.
Do you know what? It's just the most stupidest
bang, bang, bang.
thing to say. It really is.
What, calling people idiots?
No, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Come on. Well, really?
You might not sleep when you're dead because we don't know what's on the other side.
Well, this is very true. Let's not get into that. But anyway. Where could you focus on quality instead of speed? There you go.
And how would your work feel different if you just slowed down?
I know some of our best work comes from when we do slow down.
Yeah.
When we go for a drive or we go for a walk.
Our best ideas for work comes from our long drives. And we're just driving along, looking at the road.
Yeah.
Got an idea. Let's start up our own business.
Yeah.
Let's do a podcast.
Something in the middle. I'd love to know if you have experimented with going slow. Have you done the Tim Ferriss, 4-day working week? Let us know what you've done, because it would be really great to hear from you in regards to that and hear your thoughts and your opinions on this episode. Please send us an email. Let us know, laura@rocksolidhealth.co.uk. Have you fallen foul to the hustle culture? Do you believe that you sleep when you're dead and all this kind of stuff? What is it for you? We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And if you've read Cal's books before, let us know what you think about this whole thing of slow productivity. And you think if it's more sustainable, then let us know.
I'd love to hear what you say, what your thoughts are.
I personally, before we end this podcast today, I want to thank Matt doing that video and being so open and being so honest about his journey, because it's only when we start speaking about this can we actually help business owners to not just enjoy running their business, but for it to be a longevity thing rather than a quick flash in the pan because they burnt out because they were listening to the wrong messages.
Yep. Cheers, Matt. Thanks for opening that conversation. That's awesome stuff. So I'm going to thank Loz. Yeah, again, I'm going to thank her for putting this content together, bringing her energy today, because it's been an awesome podcast. Been love having this conversation. But also, I want to thank Rach and Ben from your video team from doing all the work in the background, the editing, the lighting, the cameras, us sitting here in their studio, which is just amazing. And it just leaves me to say, you got one life, live it, make it count. And I'll see you on the next episode.